exclusively for those students. They will complete in 50 days, and if they wish, they would continue. But for them, they have to stay glued and watch the entire program. Fine. Enough of talking. Let's get started. Now, I'm going to write something quickly, okay? And then we continue. So today is our 4th day. In case if you're joining us for the first time, we are on the 22 days of challenge. Why 22 days? We believe if you do something for 22 days, it becomes part of you. I hope this is working. If you do something for 22 days, it becomes a lifestyle, right? Day 4 of 22. Now, like I said, by day 10, I'll be done with all your core Java concepts. Now, you say, okay, sir, what we're going to do from day 1 to day 9, let me keep it like this. Actually, day 10, I'll complete your core Java. From day 11, actually, day 11, even maybe till day 16, I'm almost done with all your programs. Trust me. Even all your programs, like I said, lab programs can be completed even in 5 hours, and you know that for sure. So maybe from day 17 to 22, we work on other projects, okay? Other projects, fine. And we'll be done with this. Now, I will also be doing a special series on Java for web developers. It will be a different thing. Only those that are interested, I will float a form to that effect. Java for web developers. This is aimed at making you very conversant with frameworks such as you use JSP and Servlets, you use JSF and struts, you use your HQL in between, then you have to use this guy, Spring. Okay. Now, this will be a special stuff. Fine. Now, what are we doing today? Now, you look here. We'll be looking into, like I said, handling user input. First thing, you know about your Java, that Java is strongly typed, meaning that whatever you want to do, we have to first of all declare the type, otherwise it will throw an error. Okay? So, first thing is handling user input. So, if I handle input, can I also handle an output? Okay, yes. So, we call it input and output. That's why when we import a special package called java.io, what does this do? It handles both input and output. So when you are handling this, what are you handling? You are handling what? First thing, input streams. Say when you ask somebody to enter a number, right? And this is contained in a package, special packages. I have given you one, and you also have your what? util.star. In this star, you have your scanner. And please look how I'm writing it, capital S. It's a class. So one of the things you should understand is all called stream. If you think of, we say, I asked you in the class, right, if you know about, what do you call it? Tweets from Twitter. Tweets from Twitter. It's like tongue twister, Twitter tweets. Tweet from Twitter app. How does these tweets come? They come in streams. So think of stream like stream of water flowing. Of water, fast flowing data packets, data packs. So we call them streams, right? So it doesn't mean that, yes, we are not doing socket programming for now. So we are not talking about this, okay? But the concept of tweet is like stream. So what is a stream? Stream is what, if you want to give it a definition, stream is a sequence of what? Data. Okay, so in Java, stream consists of two types. You have your byte stream, okay, used for handling what? I/O of bytes. And you know bytes. In case you've forgotten, feel free to go to the previous lecture and do a little revision on data types in Java. And another one is called your character stream. They are streams, okay? Character streams. Used for what? I/O of characters. Fine. Now, in these streams, very important interview questions, there are 3 stream variables. 3 stream variables. Can you tell me what they are? 3 stream variables. These three string variables are called as predefined streams. So if I ask you to give me examples of predefined streams in Java, they include 1, 2, and 3. The first one, we have used that by default. Do you remember this? It's a stream. That's why I said it's a class. .system, a class, predefined. What does it mean? It is prefixed, inbuilt. So I don't need to import any special package to use this. So inbuilt, no special package required. No special package required. Yes or no? Yes. So another one is called system.out. So we say .out statement. Don't worry. Okay. And another one is your what? System.err. Please, if you just take a Google search here, what's the definition? What does error mean? ERR. What does it mean actually? Error is like error. Look at it. Mistake or error. Can you see that? Error. ERR. So let's pronounce it. Sorry. So is an error, is a mistake. So we say to err is human and to forgive is divine. Human makes mistakes, God forgives us. So you don't need an explanation for this, right? So this is for your what? Input stream. As the name implies, input stream. As the extension name implies, input stream for your output. And for what? Error. You know they are called as what? Exceptions or mistakes. Now, what is very important here, that these three streams are what? Automatically imported in from a class, from a package, not a class, I beg your pardon, from a package called what? I asked this in the class, right? And I remember one of you answered this. I don't want to take your name. So, which package is automatically imported by default? You said it. I will give you guys chocolate tomorrow. It's called java.lang package. So this is imported automatically. That's why whenever you use system.in, you are not going to import any special package. Fine. So there was a program which I showed yesterday, right? An error was there. If you remember, go back to day 3 of 22 of Java challenge, you understand. In that, I tried handling exception, and that was the mistake. Okay? So in between, if you're handling exception is present in a special package, and I'm going to tell you about the package. Actually, I explained the package here. So that package where you handle exception is known as java.io package. Fine. Anyway, let's continue. In this case, we are going to do some stuff now, some implementations, okay? Using some inbuilt methods to accept inputs from the user, right? So you'll be coming across something like this. Read is a method. What does this method do? It accepts inputs, accepts user inputs. And it has to wait until the user presses a key, accepts user input and waits for what? On key pressed action. I don't want to confuse you. And wait for user action. In terms of what? Pressing a key. Now, if you're going to accept integer, if you're going to accept float, if you're going to accept byte, we will use different what? Methods. Hence, say I want somebody to enter, I want you to enter a secret character. So I say call that secret character. I want you to check. I will have a secret character, which I set is secret character. Yeah, I set it to, sorry, instead of using long word, I set it to I. Okay. I want you to guess until you get this. So I don't want you to enter a string. By the way, this will be an error in Java, because Java will ask you what is the type of this thing you have entered. You have to tell me the type before you use it. So I cannot say a character while I'm using a string. I can say it's a char k. Okay, I want to check this first thing. Now with this, I will have to convert, because whatever I'm getting from read, I have to convert it to, typecast it to, you said it, character. Now, because the user enters things in form of string. Even if you entered k, is in what? Of string type. So if I want to check whether it's a character, I have to convert it. So I'm accepting this. I say system dot in dot read. I can use this. And I have to typecast this. And I assign it to, what is the character? K. You got the point? Fine. Now this reads a character and waits for the user to enter a character. We are going to demo this live. Okay. And when the user gets that, I have to print out. I'll say SOP for short, but anyway, let me write it, system dot out. Remember, the only thing here is system is capital. It's a keyword. The print lane, say you entered something. You entered whatever. I have to say plus K. Now you must put semicolon. At the end of every Java statement, all semicolon must be there. Otherwise, it will throw an error. And we have to show that in a while. So whenever I'm reading character, okay, which I tell you by default it reads a string. So whenever I'm reading a string, there are concepts there are classes which I need to remember. Please listen. Reading strings. So there are classes. What are those classes? The first one, you've seen it, is my what? Input. Please look at how I'm writing it. Capital I, input, capital S, stream, capital R, reader. Another one is called what? Buffered reader. Buffered reader. And the last one which you have seen is your scanner class. Now, these two are used as one, and this one as a different one. So whenever I want to use input stream reader, I have to club it to buffered reader. And I'll tell you how we use that. And the last one is your scanner. So these two obviously is present in your what? Java.io. Okay. So you might say, okay, java.lang is imported by default. Can I import java.io? Let's check whether you can import it automatically or not. From your console, please. I'm not using any IDE. Remember that, automatically from your text editor. Now I'm not using even Sublime Text also. And I'm using only Notepad++, which is not an intelligent IDE. Fine. That means I have to import this package if it's not imported, and I have to import this java.util. You know, right? .scanner. No problem. It's present in this. Or you import .star. Now, what are the differences actually? Are they the same? If I said, like in the first case, first and second, input stream reader and buffer reader, we club both together. Can they be the same? I mean, are they the same or are they different? So let's understand this quickly. In your input stream, okay, I'm going to use ISR for short, not ISRO. Input stream reader, okay. In this class, remember this is input stream reader. Don't ask sir, you are changing it. Buffer reader is your BR. So in your input stream reader class, this is used to read what? A data. What? Data from, you got it from the keyboard, not KB. Tomorrow you say, sir, you wrote KB, kilobytes. And this converts byte stream to character stream, which converts what? Byte stream, B-Y-T-E, not bits, byte stream to character stream. And this makes sense now, okay? Char stream. Now, the syntax looks like this. It has a syntax. It looks like this. We say input stream reader, what? You can use an instance of that, okay? Input stream reader, before we instantiate it, now we instantiate using the new keyword, no problem, but input stream reader what? Input stream reader variable is known as anything. You can call it IR or you can call it SR or whatever, okay? Input stream reader, I use IR to make sure it looks like that, and this is the instance of that. Equals what? New. Please remember it's a keyword. Input stream, it's a class, please. It's input stream reader. Now in between I will use system dot in, okay, semicolon. So this is the what? Syntax. The second one, which is my buffered reader, so I call it BR for short, buffered reader class. How is this different from this? Let's write them close to each other, okay? So buffered reader, I'm going to use an object of that. Syntax is like this. I say buffered reader, BR for short, equal what? New buffered reader. Please pay attention here. Equal what? New buffered reader. Now please look here. New buffered reader takes an argument. Which argument? IR. Now look at this. This IR is taken from here. Now you got the concept why I said these two are always clubbed together. Such that when I'm using buffered reader, obviously I'm combining it with from input stream reader. So it goes like this: buffered reader equals new buffered reader new system reader whatever system.in. I cannot memorize everything. You will get to know that now, okay, in the program. Now the third one is your scanner class, which is easy. Okay, very simple. Scanner is the simplest. It says scanner, creates an object of that. So we call this is for scanner class, which goes like this: scanner sc, this is it, equal what? New scanner. Simple. Takes an argument, system.in. And this object created is used to call some method. So we say sc dot, maybe like name. It's a method. So we use this object we created to call that. Very simple. Fine. So there are a couple of things that you might be asking, okay, what are the methods that are present in what? Reading a string. Because if you don't know the methods that are present in reading a string, you might not know how to read that. So I'm going to write them together. Methods that are present in BR and ISR. So I'm using this green, okay, blue. For this, there are methods. And I'm going to just write it and then you can do a read up on that. The first one is read. I explained that. This reads a single character. The next is read line. Okay, please listen. This reads a line of text. So think that this reads a character and this reads strings. Got the point? So line of text. Now, you can actually read portions of an array also. You can actually read portions of an array, but that we hardly encounter. If you encounter it, fine, I will teach you how to do that. But for now, that is it. And I will give you a demo on this. Okay. Now let's move to your scanner class. So in the scanner class also, there are methods, right? So what are the methods? In the scanner class, you have methods. What are those methods? Quickly. First one is your next. Next reads a string. Next int reads integer. That means there will be next float. Obviously, reads floating point number. Next float. See how I'm writing it? Do we have next double? Why not next double? So if you're going to have next double, the type must be double. The type must be double. The type must be float. Otherwise, you run into loss of precision. The type must be int. And if you are going to read next, what will be the type? The type is of type string. You got the point? Because this returns a kind of a complete line of text, okay? But whenever you encounter a space, please listen. A space is treated as what? A line break. And in between, you will see some errors or exceptions that we're going to get when we try putting the wrong type. Why we have declared it as a different type. Example, we declared it as int and we are entering the value as float. If you declare as float and enter an integer value, it will automatically be promoted. Look at the rules of type promotion. Moving from lower type to another is promotion, but moving from bigger type to a lower type is demotion. It doesn't work. I mean, it will work, but it will tell you what the error. And one of the things we need to understand is closing this. Close. So once you are done, you need to close this scanner class. So close this, the scanner. So it's optional. It's optional, right? In most cases, some developers keep it as an optional case, but it returns a type. That's why we don't declare the type of string it is. So it returns a type called as void. We don't declare the type it is. It returns because it returns a type called as void. So quickly, some two more explanations and we are done. So we talk about conditional statements, or sorry, control statements, right? Fine. So control statements, and that is how we wind up for today. Control. He says, I want to control something. That is control statement actually. So control statement I'm talking about is selection, iteration, or what? Looping. You can call it iteration, even I pronounce it iteration at times, okay? And then the third one is your unconditional jump statement, which is unconditional. Got the point? Cool. So I think I will explain this in a table or in a tabular form, okay? And that will make more sense. I'm going to give few examples because, please listen, if you are following the Python class, you discover there is something we call switch case in Python, which is entirely different in Java. And when how we write conditions is similar, but again, remember the lines of text is entirely different. The syntax will be all more or less the same in both cases, but exceptions will be in which your switch case and even when you are nexting. Okay. Now, syntax are more or less the same. Don't get confused. So let's look at examples. Fine. So you know the concept of your if statements, right? So let's look at this, your type. Okay, and then you have the type will be there. Okay, and then you have something else which I don't know. Type is there, and then you have your syntax. Okay, and then you have some little example. Fine. I believe this space should be fine, and you have an example. All right. So the first one we are going to treat is your default if statement. It's called if statement. And in this if statement, I'm going to narrow it down to simple if. That means we have compound if, right? Okay. So simple if, or we have if else and we have if else, else if, and then else also. Fine. Continuation. So you call it your multiple, even you can have multiple if also. So how is the syntax like? The syntax is if what? Condition holds true. Right? So you have to come inside and execute some statements. Fine? STMTS, whatever. Okay? This is it. So if the condition is false, I don't know what to do because you did not ask me to do anything and we have seen it. So in this case, let's say we want to write a program that will check whether this person is eligible to vote or not. Please listen, whether you're eligible to vote or not. So eligibility for you to vote is age must be equal to, greater than or equal to 18, right? Good. So I'll say greater than or equal to 18. Sorry, please listen. I've started writing the condition already. Initially, age is what? 18. You got the point? Now I will say if age, you ask the user to enter the age. We will do that now. in Python, in Java, please. If age is greater than 18 years, fine, you say SOP. I'm using SOP for short, okay? System.out.println, you are eligible to vote. Eligible to vote. Now, what if the person enters 10 years? Nothing happens because I did not handle that. That's why I need to go to the else part. And that is on that premise we are looking at if else. I hope this makes sense now. Now in if else, it says if a condition holds true. You can also check for the first condition also and print messages accordingly. If a condition holds true, print true condition. Print what? True statements. That means if condition is true, this is that. Okay. Otherwise, you close this. Otherwise, print what? You got it right. Print false statement. FALSE statement. Is this making sense? Cool. So, with this now, our program will look like this. First thing, we have what? This guy, it says, let's check if a number is even or odd. We have done this in Python. Please remember, the only way you choose which programming language suits you is by programming in both languages. Jython, don't forget our Jython. Fine. Now let's check this. How do you check whether a number is even or odd? Quickly. Say I have accepted the number. The number is 20. Now I will check if this number, if I divide it by 2 and the remainder is exactly equal to 0, I have to print that's what? SOP. That it is what? Even. Else SOP. Remember, SOP odd is system.out.println odd, semicolon, semicolon, and then close it. Hope you're able to follow. Fine. Next thing, there's something we call if else ladder. Okay, it's a ladder. What do you know about ladder? It's steps. Ladder is like a step. Ladder, like this, you climb. It's like steps, right? Steps. So do we have such steps? Let's see. It's called the word if. I'll use a different color now. If else if ladder. Okay. Now it's similar to whatever we've seen. It says if condition is true, print some statements. So I'm going to write them in a single line. I hope you got my point to save some space, but no. Now I'll say execute statement. Now, else, I'm not done yet. If the condition, this is condition 1, execute statement 1, else if condition 2, okay, it says open this, execute statement 2. Okay. Now, once this goes through, lastly, it says if these two fails, right? Else, you do what now? So else, please listen. This opens here. Don't forget. Else, you do what? Statement 3. Now look here. Since it's a ladder, you need to know when what opens and what closes. Before I go to else, I open this guy. I did not close it. I close it here. Else if open this, I can close it here. No problem. You got the point? I'll say else what? Open another bracket. Statement 3. I don't need to test the condition 3, right? Because once these two conditions fails, by default condition 3 must hold true. Example, checking the maximum of 3 numbers. So I'm not going to write it, okay? I'll give an example, okay, in the lab. So the same thing goes with nested if. So I want to explain nested if before we start something. So nested if, you know, is an if inside an if. So we call it nested ifs. All right. So very simple. You have a condition condition 1, you open this bracket. Inside this, you have if condition 2. You open that bracket. Look, you have now closed this. Okay, so you can do some statements, execute some statements, and then you close this here, and then you close that there. You got the point. So, sir, what is the example? You can actually use this to find the maximum of three numbers. Maximum of three numbers in which the user has entered three numbers. Int A equal 5, int B equal 10, int C equal what? 20. And then you have your words int big. Now you might say, sir, why are you repeating int? So this is how I do when I started programming. Looking at this, is it not the same thing as writing it in one line, saying int, okay, A equal 15, comma, B, instead of, okay, I put semicolon here. Sorry, that was what I wanted to do, semicolon initially, okay. And then the last one, instead of semicolon, you put comma, B equal 20, comma, C equal, what am I saying? 5, I said. Where am I getting 20 from? 5, 10. And then 20 here. And then big. I don't know what it is. I did not assign it anything. Okay. Now let's check this quickly using nested if. So if A is greater than B, open this bracket. And what? A, open bracket. And A is greater than C. Open this, then the biggest becomes what? A. I'll close this and I'll close this. Now this might look difficult to understand, hence we can rewrite it as this simplified version. Says if A is greater than B, you can do this, and A is greater than C, right? Print big becomes A, so you can now print SOP big equals A plus A. Got the concept? Good. And I think I will stop with one more, okay, on this before we are not looking into loops. I'll look at switch case in Java and we stop here for now, okay, and then do some labs quickly. So the concept of loop switch case is, say you have multiple if statements. So I'll write switch case in Java. So I'll give example, syntax and example. So the syntax is like this, very simple. Say switch expression. What's the expression? Checking for vowels or consonants. Case A1 or case 1. If the case is true, okay, you print what? Statement. SOP. Statement. Statement 1. Now what happens? You can use break to come out of this. Remember semicolon even at the end of this also. Now case 2. And there's also what we call fall through case, where you have case 1, case 2 without break in between. And I'll tell you an example of that. Case 2, you have SOP, system of printing statement 2, down till case N. So case N is the last case, SOPN. If all these cases did not match, SOP statement N. If none of these cases matches, then that means the last case has to be there, which is called default. So statement default, SOP statement default. Okay, fine. You got the point. So another thing is what we call fall through case, and I will explain that. Fall through. Fall through is usually used when the conditions you are testing are almost similar. Fall through case. It's like this. Say you want to test for vowels A, E, I, O, U. So what you do, you say case A colon, case E colon, case I, you got the point, colon, case O colon, and case U. If it is any of these, why actually? You are printing the same message, right? SOP forward. You got the point. So if it's any of these, you say SOP forward. Otherwise, you say what? Consonant. You got the point? Easy. Fine. Let's see what we have to do quickly. We demo it and then we wind up with that. Now follow me as we get into this, and this is what we have to do, okay? Now sequence and conditionals, whatever, things like that. Let's see if we're able to do justice to that. First program. Now, please look here. I'm going to run this program, okay? First thing, I should find where the part is. So I'm going to call up my command prompt. So in command prompt, I need to first of all find this. Please listen. This is present in my days of challenge. So I come here, it is present in this 22 days of challenge. Control C, copy that. Now, I will get here. I'll get here and then I maximize this. Control V. Now, please look here. If you enter, you're going to get an error. It's not recognized as an internal or external command. What should you do? I need to migrate to that part. Hence, I say CD. Now I press Ctrl V. Enter. Now I have moved from there. Please look here. Initially, I was inside C users Victor directory. Now I have moved to C users Victor desktop 22 days of Python day 1 of 22. And I use a name so that it becomes easy for me to remember. It's called day4_p1.java. So I'll call it Java C day4_p1.java, which Java C stands for Java compile. Enter. The class file is generated, but it gave an error. This was the same error that it gave yesterday. Throws IO exception. Now, please listen. What I want you to do, I want to teach you how to fish. In the Bible, we said, Jesus Christ was telling his disciples, follow me and I will make you fishers of men. So I'm going to teach you how to fish. Look at this. Cannot find symbol. Throws IO exception. Let's ask Google what this means. Cannot find. They cannot find. Please follow me. Symbol. Okay. IO exception error. IO exception error. Exception error. Done. Obviously, it will take you to Stack Overflow or even Code Ranch or something like that, but always go to Stack Overflow. Cannot find simple class IO exception duplicate. Please look here. Now, if you come here, I have to accept all cookies. What can I do? If you come here, please look. I'm going to zoom this out so that you see. Now, public void, something I'm using and things like that, it says cannot find that. Now, please look here. Follow the procedure. It says IO exception is a class from java.io package. In order to use this, you should add import declaration. Very simple. Let's do that. Now we come back here, and this is what we have. And I have added it here, and that's it. Save this. Let's go and compile this now. Now, I will clear the screen so that it becomes visible for you. Now, I'm going to compile this back again. day4_p1.java. Done. No problem. Class file is generated. In case if you missed out, go back to our first and second day of Java classes to understand. That is our bytecode. Now, what I will do, I will say Java file name dot, no Java again, file name only. It is called day4_p1. That's it. Easy. Enter a character. Okay, I will say I. Enter. Hey, you entered I. Please listen. Please listen. It asks me to enter a character. I entered a string. You got the point. So it returned only I. Now, if I were you, I will change this type from character to string. You got my point. So I want to show you this accepted. No matter what you entered, it's going to look at it here. Reads a character. Now, let's say you change this to string, string, and you call it string ch and say semicolon. And then instead of this, you are changing it to string, so no need to typecast. I hope you're able to follow what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to comment this out. I always want to tell you one thing: don't just delete, comment things out. Okay, now I will just copy this and I'll come back down here and just paste it here. And I don't need to typecast this, right? Because by default is a string. Now, the question is, should I use read or should I use read line? Okay, fine. Now, oh sorry, save it, yes, and then run this. Okay, so this is not what I wanted to do. The concept was to show you the what? Use of one. Now look here, expected semicolon. Sorry, I did not add the semicolon. Now, easy. Now, please look here. Ensure you are taking note of all the error messages. Error, expected, semicolon. And see here, that is expected. Fine. Now, this is done and it's telling me variable, look here, is of type input stream. Variable in of is of type, got the point. So there'll be a way because it cannot find this symbol. You got the point? System.in.readline. This is not how you should use this. That's what I want you to understand. Fine. Good. So I'm going to undo this now. Fine. And this was all we have. Done. And that's it. Okay. Save this. This is done. Let's look at the second program. So the second program we'll be using what? BufferedReader. Please look here. In the first case, we imported IO exception. So specifically, or you can import io.star. In the second case, since you are using this, we're going to import something. But before that, I said again, throws IO exception. Enter this using what? Input stream reader. How do you use that? Input stream reader IR, the object equals new input stream reader. Again, buffered reader input equals new buffered reader, taking this as an argument. Fine. Now, let's run something here. F5. Sorry, I don't want to do this. Control S, go back. It is called day 2. So I will say Java C. So clear the screen so that you not get confused. I'll say Java C, this under what? B2.java. Enter. Now, you see here, please listen. Because I did not import IO, it's giving me 4 errors. This is what happens when you start programming. You give up. What is this, sir? One small thing only. Why is he highlighting it 4 times, right? Highlighted here, again highlighted here. See, it's highlighted it at the beginning, it's highlighting it here, again it's highlighting B, again it's highlighting again B. So that's where the 4 errors are coming. Very simple. Google it, it tells you import this guy. Now, I cannot say IO or buffered reader. You can import everything at once, right? It's no problem. Just import everything so that it will give me, to stop complaining. So I'll clear the screen, I'll run this again. Enter. Now no problem. Okay, now I have to run this Java day what? Day 4 underscore p2. That's it. No dot Java again. Enter. Enter your name. IKECHUKW. Can you pronounce this name? Enter. Hey, your name is Ikechukwu. Got the point now? So what did you notice happened here? In the first case, I accepted with this, which only reads a character. Now, if I want to accept a string, I have to modify that program. Hence, you can say accepts a string, which is sequence of character. A string, which is what? AKA sequence of characters of char. Got it? Good. Now, this is what I wanted you to do, but we are not done yet. Please listen. I'm going to comment this guy out and use the smart way. So I said one smart way is to use what? Buffered reader. Do it in a single line. Now, I'll zoom this out so that it fits on one line. I want you to see it as fitting on one line. So look at it. Buffered reader input equals new buffered reader, new input stream reader system.in. Fine. I've commented out those ones. Fine. And yes, my string is still there. Now let's run this. Save. Okay, get here is called P2. Don't forget, we just executed it. Now we got Ikechukwu here. So I'm going to compile, please. Okay, now it's done, and I'm going to run it again. Fine. It says enter a name. This time around, I'm going to enter Victor. Your name is Victor. Got it? Fine. Now you have seen two ways of doing the same thing. Now, the next program, just and the last one, we are done. Use of your scanner class. Okay. So import java.util.scanner or import java.util.star. Or you can import what? .star. Like .io.star. Now, this takes that enter your row number. I'm using various variables, right? Integer is my row number. If I want it to be a string, I can call it what? Excuse me. String type and use only next. So enter your name, obviously, which has to be a string type, but here I'll enter your name, full name, and enter your mess fee. I'll say, hey, row number this and name this. You have paid this much. Why am I telling this? For those guys in the hostel, you might think of developing a simple application like this that be able to track how much the user has paid or how much is left or something like that. So quickly, it's called P3, so we can clear the screen. And again, we do Java C, right? So the 3 dot whatever p underscore p3 dot java. Done. Next, run it. That's all what p3. Enter. Enter your row number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, anything. Enter your full name. Okay, Victor. Enter your mess fee. Okay, 100. Hey, row number, you can print appropriate message. Hey, row number this with name this, you have paid 100 rupees. Made it double, that's why you are seeing .0 there. Made it double type, that's why you are seeing .0. And the last one, we are done for the day. Okay, so the last one, sorry, okay, sorry, only 3 programs for today. Sorry, this is Python. I'm really sorry about that. So with this, we are done, okay? The concepts which I explained here, yes, I cannot demo that today. I'll demo all of them tomorrow, okay? So if I start now, it will take more than required time. So how did we start? Quickly, let's see what we did today. Okay, now let's see. Handling user inputs, check. Use of BufferedReader and Scanner Class with suitable examples, check. Control statements and conditional statements. Looping, iteration, and stuff, unchecked. Nested loops, unchecked. Modifying this program, unchecked. These only concepts we are studied, right? Hence, tomorrow we will implement this and we will also do advanced classes also on some basic stuff, okay? Maybe get into arrays and other concepts, okay? On this note, I want to thank you so much for tuning in for today. Till I come your way next time, happy viewing, stay safe, and ensure you sleep soon. Bye for now.